And we are live. So, hello everyone. And I'm very excited because I thought about a cool way we can implement this puzzle overnight, and I'm excited to share with you. But before that, a few like small updates. So, the first one is unfortunately, I had to restart Chrome, and the live splits, like when you restart, like loses all of the progress. And I tried to actually like use to figure out how the local state is stored. But the issue, so the way it's working is there's something called live splits core, which is like from the actual live split program that's on Windows, which is extracted to all of the timings and everything. And this is actually a canvas. And so there's a React panel. So all of this panel is using React, like for just like the resizing, but the whole like core and everything is in um, actually like a native module. So what I did was to take the timer everywhere, and I post screenshots every time for all of the timers. So we'll have to like somehow make up with this, but I don't think it's the end of the world. The other thing is I did a few updates to our test setup. So the biggest thing I did was, so before what I would do is for each test, so I would do like print, I would do console.log, print matrix, matrix to string. And so one thing I started thinking about it is like, when do I actually want to print the matrix? And so I wanted to print it when the test doesn't work. So for this, what I did instead is in my test setup, so I have a described test that's being used in every single test. So it says the test on the solver. So instead, what I did was, if the output is not the expected output, then we console.log all of the variations, and otherwise we do the output. And so for example, let's say if I remove this, and so now if I look at the test, now like this is the wrong one. And if you look up, well, there's a bunch of wrong ones. And so now if you look up, like this is the input, this is the output that I generate, and this is the expected output. And so this is for all of the broken tests. So hopefully this is going to help. I don't have to like import it every time, so it's going to speed up the process. So I think, yeah, and also what I did was to rename all of the results into the output variable. So this was input, output, and then draw line I don't need to care about. And also clean up some imports that were unused. But anyway, this is all with the preamble. So let's get started coding. So up, we're going to start the timer. So this is number 13, perfect. So, okay, so this one. So let's see how this works. So what we have is like one pixel at the top, one pixel at the bottom, and then we basically fill the line. So the draw line is going to be very useful. And then we fill the line, and then the distance is going to be like we need to check the distance. So in this case, like this is a distance, like there's two gaps. Here there's only one gap, and then we alternate. And then this is the same for vertical, and this is the same for vertical. And so the dots can be either on like on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. And here, like it doesn't matter. So let's start with the horizontal one, and then we can think about the vertical one later. So for this, the idea is we're going to like use the extract shapes. That's going to give us like the background, the red and the blue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out like which one is closest to the left, and then we're going to look at the distance and get the two colors, and then iterate until you go at the end for like draw lines. So let's get started. So now we need to oops, why do I have two? Let's create a new test. And perfect. So in this case, we're going to copy the matrix. Oh yeah, I should probably get the extract shapes, but anyway. Const shapes equals extract shapes of the inputs. And so what I want to do is shapes.filter. So shape.length equals 1. So we want the one with the okay. And so we want to sort this new shapes. And so we want to sort the shapes, so A and B. And so we want A dot 0 dot x minus b dot 0 dot x. So I think so the shape is an array of all of the points. So in this case, there's only one point, so we can do 0. And so in this case, we want to figure out like which one is the most on the left. So I think this should work like this. So new shapes. And so here what we want is training number 13, and we only want the first one. Okay. So, yep, so the output, the input is good. Okay, so first x is 5. Okay, perfect. So now we've got in this. And so now, so const, so, okay. So the delta, so start x equal new shapes dot 0 dot 0. So we want the first and the first x. Const delta x equals, so it's going to be the first shape minus yep, so it's going to be the x of this one. Stop. So it's going to be the x of this one minus the x of this one. And so now the colors, and so now the colors are going to be this is going to be the first shape color and the second shape color. Okay. And so now we need to iterate and draw like a bunch of lines. So for let x equal start x, so we want x to be before the width, and then so const width equals get width of the inputs. Okay. And so x plus equals delta x. And so now what we do is we draw line. So draw line, so the output. And so x1 equal x. So y1 equals 0. x2 equals still x. And y2 equal height. And so const width, const height equals get height. Okay, so when I autocomplete, now it automatically imports. Nice, that's good to know. Equals the height, I think -1. Okay, let's try, yeah, height -1. Okay, and so the color is equals to colors. Oh, well, I need to let I equals 0, I plus plus. And so colors equals I modulo 2. Okay. So now the test 1 passed, that's good. So the number 1 passed, the number 2 should pass as well. Oops. So number 1, so now we need to T, we remove them, so yep, okay. Yep. So the issue is that this is going to an infinite loop, okay. So the 1 and 2 are passing, but the 3 is probably going to an infinite loop. And so what I was thinking was if we have those who are like horizontal, then we do it. And now if it's vertical, then what we can do is to actually like flip. So we rotate this whole thing to the left. Then we do the algorithm, and then we rotate to the bottom. And so I think this is going to be a cool way to like not have to deal with like the symmetries. We just rotate it. It's going to be slower and everything, but I mean we don't really care about the performance in this case. And actually, let me. I forgot to put the Twitch app so I can see the comments. Yeah, this is interesting. There's so many little things to think about when looking at this. Oops. Perfect. So now, so what we need to do is to implement a function to rotate. So function rotates. So rotate right. So the inputs. So rotate 90 degrees right. So this is where, which is interesting, is there's a concept called 2D rotation matrix. And so this is going to be like overkill for this, but yeah, this is the idea, is that if you're trying to rotate a point in space, then what you can do is, if you know the angle, what you can do is to do like take this rotation matrix and multiply it by this vector. Sorry, by the vector xy, like which is the point in space, and then it's going to get the new point in space. And so in this case, like this is going to be the formula. So now what we can do is, so first we need to know const input width equals get width of inputs, same for the height. Get height. And now what we want to know is what is the target, the output width, output height. And so now for this, what we're going to do is to use this formula. So output x, so we're going to use width and height. So it's going to be actually, I probably don't need this, but so it's going to be x multiplied by cosinus x, cosinus. So it's going to be input width. Okay, so let me function rotate angle xy, and so this is going to return. So for x is going to be x multiplied by mass dot cos dot angle, and it's going to be minus y multiplied by, is it cos sin mass dot sin the angle. So this, we have the x, and so now we need the y. So y, no, so it's still x multiplied by sin of angle, and is it plus or minus this time? This time it's plus y multiplied by mass dot cos of the angle. Okay, so now we have the rotate. so now what we can get is the output height is going to get rotate. So the angle is, we say it's 90 degrees. And we want the get width of the input and get height of the input. Okay. And so now we can do the output equals build matrix, and so we want the output width, output height, and now we want to now what we want to do is to iterate over every single point, figure out what is the rotation, like the new point in space, and then copy it from the input. So I equals 0, I have below output width I plus plus, for let I equals 0. No, actually it should be the input width. So we iterate over the input width and we can know the output. Yeah. So const input width equals get width the inputs. So height. So now we want to probably use this one. Yep. And so now, so this is the input. And so now it's going to be the outputs. So input height plus plus j. Okay, and so now what we want is output of, and so now this is output x, output y equals to rotate ij. And so now we want output x, so this is y. Output x equals input j and I, and return outputs. So rotate matrix angle. And so this is only going to, in this case, work for 90 degrees rotations, or like 180 or like 270. But because it's not going to have all of the points, so if you rotate like by 45 degrees, then there's going to be like in half points, which we don't handle. But yeah, this should work. So now what we want, so up, shapes and sorts. Okay, so now what we want is if so if new shapes so if the 0.0 x, so if the x is 0 or the x is width minus 1, that x equals 0 or shapes dot 0 that equals width minus 1. Okay, so actually, yeah, I need to do this here. So if we are horizontal like this, so we want to rotate like this, so we want to rotate this one here, so we want to do minus 90 degree, and so we want to so this function is going to be training 13, so we want to const rotated equals, no, actually we want to do rotate, return, rotate, training 13 of rotate minus 90 of the inputs, and then we want to rotate this one by 90 degrees. So we want to rotate it one thing, do the algorithm, and rotate it the other way. Okay, and this is going to be a rotate matrix, and it's probably not going to work the first time, but we'll see. Okay, so now I need to check if my gut feeling is matter thin. I need to check if it's using degrees or radians. Is in degrees or radians JavaScript. Oh, this is in radians. Okay. So now I need to check. So in degrees. So we're going. So 90 degrees to radians equal. Okay. So degrees to radians. So this is the formula I need to use. Okay. So rad equals, so angle multiplied dot mass dot pi divided, okay. Deg angle or rad angle. Okay, and so this one is deg angle, deg angle. Okay. And rotate, so this one should be deg angle. Okay, so now 1, 2, this one, so now 1, 2 is passing and this one is passing, so it's still this one not passing. Now I need to check, I probably did something wrong with the rotation, and so now it breaks here. So what's going on? So the output Y, okay, so let me first, what I want is test the third one. Okay, now the third one should be this one. So where am I? So now I want to console.log output with an output height and see what's going on. Okay, so I probably need to round it. Mass.round. Okay, why does it give -9? Oh, yep, so when I rotate this one and rotate, now it can go into the negative. This is annoying. Okay, well. So when does it... So what if I do instead of minus 90, what if I do 270? Probably not going to change anything, but let's try. Nope. Okay, so all of them are going to be shifted by 9. So I need to change the... Okay, I thought it was going to be easy and going to be smooth, but looks like I overestimated it. So now okay. So now I know that this point is going to be... Yep. So now this is the... this one is the pivot. And so yeah, so this one is going to be... Whoop, is going to be there. And so what I need is to shift everything by 9. So this point is going to be 0 minus 9. Okay. So... 22. So now I need to... Okay, so... this should be good. So if we do this, we should actually have the right size. And so now... And so minus this, output height, output width. So plus okay, I'm sorry to be silent. I'm trying to think to figure out how it's going to work. So I know that this one stays, so this one is still going to be 0, 0. But this one is going to be minus 9. It's going to be minus 9 in y. And so right now it's 9 in x. So what we're saying is, so we have this rectangle, and so it's going to be transformed into this one. Okay, so we start with this one. Okay, so we start with this one, and then it's going to be rotated like this. And so this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. And so we said that 0, 9 gets converted to -1, 9, 0. And we said that, so how much is this? 22, 22. So this is 22, no, so it's, right, x equals, so 9, 0, and this is 9, 22, and so this is actually 0, minus 9. Minus 9, and oops, and this one, so this one goes there, so it's 22 minus 9. Maybe I shouldn't do this, and I should like do it manually the way I should have started all the way, at the beginning, is try to figure out like each of the x coordinate, like convert it. Okay, so now basically what I want is this. So what I want is this. And so I need to like move this one by 9. I need to move this one by 9. And if it's plus, yeah. So we say it's 9, 22 is going to be 22 minus 9. And so I need to shift everything down. So what I need to do is so which one is the minus 9? The minus 9 is the output width, I guess. No, output height. And it's going to be minus okay, now I'm just going to figure this out. Okay, this is not working. So okay, so now what I need to know is which point goes where. So if I want to rotate like this, so I need for this point to move here. So 922 goes to x equals 22 and 0. And so now I need for this point to go here. So this is 22 x 9y, and this is 0, 9. So the x, so for the x prime equals, and so we said the original, the width equals 9, and the height equals 22. So what we're saying is 0 goes to 22. So this is the h minus x, no, minus y, plus, okay, yeah, and y equals x, no, width minus x. Okay, let's try this. So this we do input height, so we swap input width, okay, and so the y prime equals input width minus I, input height minus j. Okay, we don't rotate, and we don't rotate. Okay, j, a. The output. Okay, so this is the input. Okay. Let's see. So x equals I, y equals j, x equals, so the x, this is this one, and the y equals this one. So why is it not working? Okay, so if we said 0, 0, should be 22, 9. Is this correct? So we said so 0, 0, so this point on the green one, so if we rotate it, it should actually, so if you rotate it, so okay, so this one, if we rotate it, should be this one. So this one should be this one. And so this is, oh, it's, why is it rotated? Ah! No way rotated. Come back. Okay, so this one should be x equals 0, and it should be 9. Okay, so why is this one 9? Now I think I need to do this formula. So I need to xx and yy equals rotate minus 90 ij. But then what I need to do, so it's going to be like this. I need to change I need to shift everything by 9. And so I need to do xs plus, so yy plus equal inputs width. For the width, this one plus 9, okay. And so it's going to be yy xx. Okay, so 0, 0. -1. Okay. Okay. So we did a bunch of changes. Okay. So in practice, now what we are at is that, okay, the output, okay, so we've got the output, but it's rotated. I think I rotated the wrong way. Oops, yeah, I'm stupid. There you go. Okay. Oh, I see. So when I rotate in one angle, it's working. Okay, so I think it's working in one direction, but this one is not. This one is not correct in the other direction. Okay. So now if I rotate it back. So now if I rotate this one back like this. Oops. So if I rotate this one back like this, so now 0, 0. Okay. So this is like this. Now I keep rotating, so it should rotate like this. So 0, 0. Oh, okay, so I think it has to do where 0, 0 is rotated. And so in this case, this one is like this. So here 0, 0. Oops. So here, wait, no, 0, 0 is rotated like this. No, wait. So, oh, okay. So this is, oops. So this is 0, 0. So 0, 0 is here. And then we rotate across 0, 0. Okay, so the angle is always going to be 0. So 0, 0. So yeah, so if I rotate 0, 0, it's always going to be 0, 0. now what if I rotate 1, 1? So if I rotate 1, 1, 1, 1 to 90 degrees, so it's going to be like this. I mean, diag angle equals minus 90. This is going to be this one. And if diag angles equals 90, it's probably going to be x plus equals input height minus 1. Yep. I don't know why, but do I really want to figure out why? Only works with minus 90 on 90. Yeah, I'm not interested in finding out why. Okay, so now it's working. Okay. Now it's working. This is very underwhelming. Yeah, I wish, like, I thought this would be like super cool and I could show off and everything, but this wasn't as satisfying as I hoped it would be. What? No. Okay, this is fucked. Anyway. Yep, this is working. So I don't have the time to do a next one, but let's look at the next one just to see what it could be. And so 14, okay, what is going on? Oh, it actually just looks like we need to get all of the shapes. Oh, actually this seems like it's going to be an easy one. So it looks like all of the shapes, they're all, there's 3 of one color and 1 of a different color. And then we can just paste the one with the different color. It's actually not connected. Crap. Okay, yeah, so it's not going to be as easy. Yep, so we need to so instead of like find shape with all of them, I need to also go one more layer deep so I can like get those connections and those connections. Okay. Well, I'm going to do it for tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I mean, this is a bit disappointing, but this is also like how programming work in general. Like, it's not always going to work the way you want. So thank you so much, and see you tomorrow, same hour.